Welcome everybody to another episode of Providence Lucha Talk, episode number 4. I'm Lucito, and I'll be your host today. I'll be breaking down last night's episode of SmackDown Live, and I'll be providing you with some insight and commentary of what went on and how it affects the program leading next pay-per-view Stomping Ground. Before I begin, I would like to give a quick shout out to one of our supporters, Third Day Tees. They focus on positive apparel, positive message, and those will come up with great designs to help brand growth and awareness. Go check them out at thirddaytees.com, thirddaytees.com. All right, let's begin with the SmackDown Live review. The show started with Miss TV. He was forced to put up a show of Miss TV, and had to read of a script. So he took it upon himself to make fun of Shane. So he called him Best in the World and Pest in the World instead of Best in the World. So Shane wasn't too happy about that. So he started a gauntlet match for Miz to go against McIntyre and Elias since it went down the ring. So Shane was like, if you are able to defeat these two competitors, you could get your hands on me. So the match started. Miz was able to do a skull crusher finale to Elias to defeat him, but McIntyre got his hands on him and did a claymore and pinned him pretty quickly. So since he lost, Shane took it upon himself to pick up the scraps that McIntyre left behind and put a triangle choke and tapped them out. Up next, we had a backstage segment with Mandy Rose and Ember Moon. Mandy Rose and Sonya were giving her grief because Ember Moon was reading her book. I think this is at the starting of program, I feel, between Sonya and Ember Moon in the future, but we'll see what comes out of that. After that, we had Dan O'Brien finally back on TV with his tag team partner Rowan, and they came down to unify the YOLO champs, which were basically paper championships. The YOLO champs were AJ Kirsch and Dave Dutra, but before the match started, Heavy Machinery came in and interrupted their promo, so Heavy Machinery took the YOLO champs instead. Heavy Machinery were able to finish the YOLO champs with their finish of the compactor pretty quickly, and I'm glad that they did this because it was a great feud development. It was kind of pleasing to watch because Dan O'Brien is a good promoter and good promo work and in ring work. So Heavy Machinery have a good feud with them in the upcoming future. After that, we had R-Truth and Carmella backstage. R-Truth is freaking out and stressing out because he has been defending a 24/7 title, and even though he called it 7-Eleven, but that's something else. WWE's been doing a great job threading the story of the 24/7 title since it was created. So I think it already had about 6 title changes. So it's at least WWE is doing something great with them. So both of them are in the back. Carmella tells R-Truth to hide in a box before her match, but in the back lurking, it's Jinder Mahal. He sees what's going on, and so he fakes Carmella's voice and tells him that don't worry, that he'll come in and tell her to open the box. So he leaves and tries to get a crowbar to open the box and a referee to see if he could pin R-Truth. But by the time he comes back, the box left and is about to be shipped out to the next WWE event. So fortunately, R-Truth is able to avoid a 24/7 title defense once again. Then we have Carmella having a match with Sonya Deville. It was a fine match between the two. It was kind of a continuation of what happened weeks prior. But after Mandy Rose's interference, Sonya Deville's able to hit a Shining Wizard for the win. After that, we had Aleister Black doing a promo. We still waiting on Aleister Black in ring, but his promos have been getting better, and I wonder who's gonna pick a fight with him. He'll be a good contender for either the Intercontinental or the United States. So we'll see what happens now that Cesaro might be hurt, so he might take his place. Bailey defeated Nikki Cross via pinfall, even though it was a non-title match. I think this is just a filler episode because Bailey will be facing Alexa Bliss for the title at Stopping Ground. Finally, the big news here was Big E returns. But before that, New Day welcomes Big E's return. They're interrupted by Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Dolph Ziggler cuts a promo on Kofi Kingston saying that he only won because Xavier Woods' assistant, so he can't wait for Stopping Ground. Their Stopping Ground match will be a cage match. So that should be interesting to watch because there'll be one-on-one and New Day won't be able to help them out. So this created a main event. So it'll be the New Day versus Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. It was a great match. Great main event for SmackDown. Of course, Kofi Kingston takes the win with a Trouble in Paradise on Sami Zayn. They basically give Sami Zayn the fall because I feel it doesn't damage his character, and he's able to take the loss and still be a great heel. I would say this episode overall was an okay average episode. It's basically kind of a filler and just waiting for Stopping Ground. A couple of high points that I think that made this episode more watchable than I expected was the return of Big E from injury. Also, we got to see finally Daniel Bryan Rowan as champions, even though they didn't take any part of action, but they were at least doing promos. Also, we got to see some 24/7 shenanigans going on. R-Truth makes it even funnier. Also, I found kind of interesting Chad Gable's new gimmick, and also he changed his look, and he's now a member of the 205 Live Cruiserweight division. So I hope you guys enjoy this. This was my SmackDown review done by Tulio Yours Luisito. You can follow us on our social media. Also on Twitch and YouTube. On YouTube, you can follow us at YouTube/The J Aguilar Show. Also, you can follow us on social media on Instagram, Providence Lucha Talk, and on our Facebook page at Prav Lucha Talk. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, this is Luisito. Have a good one.